Hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome to the after show for Animal Kingdom, Season 1, Episode 5, Flesh is Weak. We got a lot to talk about tonight. The show is really heating up, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
So bad. Yes. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting to use this song.
Waiting, yeah.
Yes, and finally, tonight is the night. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm your host, Alina Vision. You can follow me on all social media at Alina Vision. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Ben Bateman.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're at the halfway point.
Yeah.
We're halfway done with Season 1 of Animal Kingdom, and we got some teacher on student action.
We got a lot of action tonight.
Jay got some action.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jay got some action. Darren got some action.
I like where the show's going.
Smurf got some action.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's heating up, and we are loving it. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. Are you in the live chat?
I'm trying to load it up right now as we speak.
All
That's
right.
the plan.
If you're watching us live, hopefully Ben will be able to get in the live chat, and you can chat with us live. So Darren, let's start off with Darren.
Yeah,
because he had kind of a bigger storyline than he did last week, which I was really excited about. We got to see a little bit more of his relationship, I guess you could say, and
breaking into dudes' houses and having sex with them.
Exactly. So what did you think about his whole...
Oh, man. Well, his whole relationship with Spencer Treat Clark, who plays the kid in Gladiator.
Right.
I
love it.
Yeah.
Movie trivia right here.
Is the best. Yeah. So I love. Oh, here we go. Hello. Hey guys. How's it going?
Hey.
I love it. I think Darren getting all like jealous and sassy is my favorite part of the whole episode.
He totally put on his sassy pants tonight.
Yeah, completely. He's just like he's like, how does it feel robbing tourists for their money? And the guy's like, what are you talking about, man? He's like, whatever, bro. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, and totally not messing.
He's just totally that dude.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved seeing that side of Darren because it brought out, like you said, the sassiness. And it's the jealousy, you know. Everyone kind of goes through that when you're in a relationship or whatever. He's not boyfriend, right?
With the guy?
Right, no. It's more
Definitely
like just a
not.
hookup thing.
Well, I think it's one of those things where Darren feels trapped and wants more, but kind of knows that he can't admit it. And this other kid would totally be okay with it, but Darren won't admit it.
Right, and he beat, Darren beat him up. And
Darren beat him up, yeah. And he's also, Belize was a long time ago, and it was just so simple then.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
Oh, everything's more simple out of the country.
Yeah, everything's more simple.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I think that Darren wants more, but I just think, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And what do you think about him just kind of being like, I just want out. I just want to leave. I don't want to be under Smurf's rule anymore. It's not fair that, whenever she says, oh, you guys go do a job or go run this errand, they're kind of at her beck and call, and I think he's kind of tired of it. I get the feeling that even the other brothers in some sort of fashion are over it, but definitely him.
Yeah, so Darren's the youngest, right?
Yes.
He's got to be, yeah. And he seems like he's kind of like the runt of the litter in some ways. Mm-hmm. He also seems like the one who is the most millennial of all.
Yeah, that's so true.
He seems like, Jay's the youngest, but he's not a brother.
Right.
Darren just kind of seems like he's the most he just is that we talked about in the very first episode, the whole San Diego stigma, the Oceanside stigma,
right.
And they even opened this episode with him skating around with his bros and just getting to what they do,
right.
Drink Bloody Marys at 11 a.m., just go surfing. Mm-hmm. He is the most he is the one who does that the most. He seems to be the most of the loner, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a loner. Definitely, like we've said before, emo. I think the sassiness and the emo kind of go hand in hand. But I kind of get where he's coming from with wanting to leave Pope. I mean, not Pope, Smurf.
Well, you could get where they're...
where they're all kind of coming from.
But there's also there's the whole Oedipus complex thing they all have, which is they all want to have sex with their mother.
Yeah.
And they all
except for him.
Right.
Clearly.
Yeah, but there's still a comfort thing.
There is.
I guess with him, everybody loves their parents. Not everybody loves their parents, but there's an innate thing inside you of being raised by your parents that you will have love for them. So I'm sure that's more of what his comes from. But yeah, definitely it seems like he's the one who would be the most comfortable being away from it all. Whereas you know, Baz very much seems like he's like, I'm in this for the long haul because I'm smarter, and Pope's kind of like the crazy version of him. They're both kind of get it. And then Craig is kind of like, seems like he's like, I'll just go with whatever as long as I'm high.
Yeah, as long as I can find some blow or pills, it's all good.
If there's like a room full of women and a bunch of drugs,
Yeah.
Craig's pretty much good with it. I think Craig's my favorite brother.
Really?
think
So
he
why do you
is.
say that?
I like Craig because there's some part of me that feels like even though they've all proven in some ways to be like pieces of crap, I think I said this last week. He just feels like he has like this big heart. He's like this big love. Maybe it's because when I met Ben Robson,
he was like, okay, he was standing over Ren when she could have been dying or dead, and he stole from her.
Oh no, that's what I said. He's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
No doubt. Like he's like a total like addict, like crazy. I think some of it may have to do with the fact that he's 6'5", super handsome, and was like the nicest guy with like this charming accent when I met him. And was just like so friendly.
Right.
In no way was he at all intimidating. And like even as a character in the show, he's not really intimidating. He like runs around naked in the first scene,
true.
and then he like apologizes and kisses his mom. You know what I mean? He's got those big eyes.
He does. Hey, I'm not gonna say he's not, easy on the eyes for sure. But I think my favorite brother is, and I think I said this last week, is Darren. For some reason, I got a soft spot for him.
Well, I definitely had a soft spot this week for him. Oh,
Yeah.
all right, thanks, guys. Jeremy Miller, he loves Craig too.
Yeah,
Love
okay.
that. Shout out to Jeremy Miller, who loves Craig. In the live chat, who's your favorite uncle? So we have a little bit of a conversation.
Oh yeah,
going here.
definitely. I like Darren for some reason. I guess I feel a little bad for him that he can't, fully come out and be himself.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, Smurf's gotta kind of know.
I think
Because it seems like Pope even kind of knows.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably.
Like if Baz, I think it's like varying levels of knowing and caring. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Baz, it feels like he like knows, but like doesn't dignify it. Craig might not know. They probably all joke about it behind his back. That's my guess. Do you know what I mean?
They're just kind of like waiting, like when is he going to tell us?
Yeah.
Because Pope knew exactly where to go when he didn't show up at his place.
Yeah.
Where to go.
Pope's like super smart. He's wicked
he
smart.
Is.
Yeah.
He's wicked smart. I like that. So yeah, let's move on to Baz. Baz, obviously wanted to open up with new gigs, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So he wants to see Lucy.
Yeah, exactly. And he heads down to Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she's like, you should be working with Marco, he's got these jobs, the jobs you used to do. They all seem like that's the scene when he's talking to her and she's like, you should get out from under Smurf's thumb, and he's like kind of listening.
Exactly.
But that's the scene where I feel like they all have the same, like they're in love with their mother thing. Because they all know that it would be better to not be working with her, but none of them seem to be able to like actually step on the gas and get out of there.
But it's like, how do you get out of something like that? You're
Yeah.
so tied in. You know so much information. It's not going to be easy
Yeah.
to just, like, Smurf's not going to be like, oh, okay, bye. Have a nice life.
How do you think things would go if Darren came out, by the way? Jeremy Miller just said he likes Darren also, but he needs to come out already.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen?
I don't think much of anything would happen. I mean, I honestly think Smurf knows. I think Pope knows. I think they all just kind of know. I think it's on...
Jay definitely knows.
Right. I think it's just on him, like, this feeling that something will happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be that big of a deal. Or maybe that's just, I don't know, the millennial in me talking.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, definitely, like... I don't think they'd kick him out of the family or anything, but I think there would be, like, I don't think he'd be okay with it, because I think he already gets teased a little bit for being the youngest. I think he'd get teased, like, so much.
Really? Do you think the brothers would tease him for that?
I think Craig for sure would tease him.
Oh, okay.
Definitely
I can see that.
Craig would. And I think every once in a while, I'll bet you in moments to like mess with him, Smurf would make a comment that was like really like inappropriate, like in one of her, in like her manipulative moments. I think she would.
Right.
And I just think also like around the scene, all the like surfer kids and skater kids.
That's true.
He would like
That's
definitely.
true.
Yeah, I feel like he'd like end up like picking a fight because he.
Got it.
But like also then speaking about Darren, like so before we fully move on to Baz, because we should talk about Darren's boy and what happens.
That's right. Yes. I mean, my goodness, that whole scenario between him, Pope, his not so much boyfriend Adrian.
Is it Adrian?
Yeah, I looked it up on IMDb.
What?
Adrian.
No, he says it at the end. They said it
did?
was. I thought at the end it was Dave.
Dave is the guy that I think he took out on the boat.
Dave's the guy that Pope.
took out on the boat.
Who's the other? Wait, who's Adrian?
Adrian is his Darren's kind of
Oh,
hookup.
sorry. I keep thinking Spencer Treat Clark. I keep thinking the actor's name. Adrian's his name. Got it.
Get in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that whole scenario, it really just. I was kind of floored that Pope did that, but not really at the same time. You know, at first I was like, is he really gonna just leave this guy out to drown?
Yeah.
Because I thought he was going to leave the ties on the hands and the feet.
It would have been really intense for Darren to be like, go off this dude, Dave. But you can't ask me why. Yeah.
Like, okay. I mean, that whole scene, especially with Darren and just being sassy, totally reminded me of like some of my girlfriends when they think their boyfriend is cheating on them. Yeah. They'll go and like stalk them at night. Come home with like, weeds or whatever in their hair. I'm like, where have you been?
Yeah.
But
people are so crazy about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know someone right now who is legitimately considering hiring a private eye.
No.
That move.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone I know is considering doing that.
You know what? When you gotta know, you just gotta know.
I know, but if it's a marriage or something, but it's...
Marriage, right. Like...
It's not a marriage.
Oh, it's not? It's just a...
I know, yeah.
It's a regular relationship?
Yeah, it's crazy. People talk about this sort of thing.
That's just doing too much.
Yeah. Wild stuff.
You can do your own thing, for sure, and find all the information you need to know. Just ask any girl.
Yeah.
We're like CIA.
It's wild stuff. Yeah.
Or Darren. Darren's like the CIA. He'll find out stuff. So what did you think about that whole scene?
Well, I mean, I love that Pope went to bat for him.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of loving the family dynamic more and more as we get to know it, and I'm also loving Pope as a character more and more. I just love that he was willing to do that, and like, but also that it was like they just like mess with him because he they didn't tie his feet and hands,
right?
So he could swim back. He didn't die, like
right.
And Adrian's like, you almost died, and it's like, did he really almost die? Come on, like
2 miles. A mile?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure he'd be fine.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's possible that he couldn't swim and then just died.
Yeah.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah.
That would have been a funny plot twist.
Because Pope's fingerprints were all over his boat.
Yeah,
if you think about it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I wonder if he wiped the boat down. You would expect probably, but
who knows?
Who knows? I mean, Pope's pretty smart.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so let's move on to Baz.
Yeah, back to Baz.
Back to Baz.
Yeah, so he's getting this directive from Smurf to go get these license plate numbers because they're trying to figure out what the next job is. So at the beginning, I thought this was an interesting thing. They're talking about shipping containers, and Smurf's like, we're talking about robbing shipping containers now, like as if that's beneath them.
And it was like Blu-ray players, I think. Yeah.
So like, I guess like traditionally they are like pretty high end. They don't like rip off small time stuff.
Right. Well, if you heard, Smurf was the one who told Pope, we can't go rob a bank because you just did 3 years. So we got to be careful. So I'm guessing
they used to do banks. I know. Doesn't it make you like want to see the bank robbery?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like we'll see one.
I feel like that'll be the end of the season.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because now they're planning on doing Camp Pendleton.
Something. Yeah. Exactly.
That's pretty big.
Yeah. So Baz started to infiltrate. He started to infiltrate Nikki's dad's operation, right? That was going on there. Yeah, and so he's thinking about robbing
classified information,
documents or something.
But I guess you could sell those on the black market for something.
It seems like robbing a military base
seems like the stupidest idea.
Seems like the worst idea on earth.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm like, I want to see how they pull this off, or even try to attempt to pull this off.
Yeah, I can't. I wonder what
because there is security up the everything there.
That's the worst. It's the worst idea.
Exactly.
But I also love that like Nikki is totally. Okay, so there's one part of me that like my prediction from an earlier episode that like Nikki is gonna become like a member of like the house brothel.
Right.
She's gonna get like used and abused. I still kind of think that. But then there's this other part of me that just like her with Jay when she's like, I gotta go pick up rent checks. Bye. Like he's like clearly like not that into her. He's like kind of into her, but he's not that. And she's totally gonna get her heart broken.
She is.
She's about to get her heart broke. She's just like so into Jay.
I think she's very much into Jay, but I also get the feeling that if another brother, or I guess in this case his uncles, were to come on to her, I think she'd take the bait.
Do you think she'd go for any of them?
Well, not Pope.
Sure about that?
Yeah, I think he's a little bit too creepy.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I think Baz.
They were giving us that. But Baz was playing her for information. I mean, I feel like most women would go for Craig. No, am I wrong here?
No, yeah.
Yeah, she'd probably go for Craig.
Right.
I mean, maybe Pope, but probably not Darren. Darren would seem disingenuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Darren would, have his shield up probably.
Yeah.
Of
We
some
don't. I mean,
sort.
Darren could also just go both ways.
That's true. We don't really know.
We really don't know because Smurf definitely does. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Which we'll get to that.
Yeah. You saw that coming or no?
No, and you were actually, when we were watching it together, you said you saw that coming.
Yeah.
I didn't. I couldn't really read their dynamic for the whole scene where they were talking about, the guy's number and whatnot. But you saw that coming.
They're talking, and
Yeah.
I wrote here. So it's like let's see. She's like. It was like this guy, and he had this airplane hangar, and it was filled with classic cars. And then I wrote the glance from Lila, because she like glances at Smurf at one point, and she kind of like checks her out.
See, I missed that. I must have been writing something.
It's like a brief glance. It's really quick, but I was like,
Right.
they're selling us something here. Something's going down.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is like, I love this show, but it's like, if I glance down to take some notes real quick, that one little look I miss, and it's boom.
Yeah, they plant a lot of those
They
things.
do, which I love.
Yeah.
I love that they plant those because it really makes you pay attention.
So unfortunately, the glare on our TVs here are so bad because then the one scene when like the teacher's sitting there and like we were just like watching, we we're like, I can't see her face. She's in
Yeah.
the dark. Like what's
Like, is she happy they made out? Is she not?
I feel like her face is like really
important.
relevant. Yeah, it's very relevant.
It's very important.
But anyway, sorry, I'm just
Right,
jumping
it's all good.
around.
It's all good. We're just having a discussion.
Yeah.
So Baz goes to Mexico,
Yep.
which I think it really even goes deeper into just how much he's not really with Catherine, or
Yeah.
not that into Catherine,
Yeah.
which makes me question, why is he still with her? I guess probably just because he thinks that Lena is his daughter.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, are they married? Are they just together?
I think they're just together. I don't think they're married.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, it's definitely a pretty like dicey situation over there because Catherine like seems to want to have nothing to do with the family, and since then we haven't really gotten to see that much of her. Plus, she's got the escape word, the safety word that she gives to Lena.
Right.
So you have to think there's some amount of her like taking off at some point that's going to happen.
Exactly.
They're
Like
just,
she's got a bag packed and kind of ready to go if she needs to.
they seem to be building towards that.
Right.
Yeah, and also it really seems like Baz's like true love is it Lucy, right?
Absolutely. You can definitely tell. But I mean, she's sleeping with other people.
Yeah, you're not the only one I share a bed with.
I was like, you go, girl. You tell him.
There's so much drama.
Yeah, and then he gets mad, and she's like, oh, how's Catherine?
Yeah. You were loving it.
Throw that
You
right
were like-
back. Exactly. Yes. Z formation. You tell him, girl. Absolutely.
Is that what that's called? Z formation?
Z formation. It's a Z.
Oh man, I'm learning things.
You are. Stick with me, you'll go far. In the world of sass, that is.
Yeah, apparently.
So what do you think of his plan to rob Camp Pendleton?
I don't.
Besides the fact that
I mean, just him just scoping it out. I mean, it seems like the worst plan on Earth. I can't see. We're missing something because obviously, as an audience, we're supposed to think that it's the worst plan on Earth.
Right.
That's supposed to be very clear to us. I like. It's totally like in terms of writing. That's always the. You set up the unsolvable problem. You know, if the stakes are high enough, it makes everything exciting. So, if there's some reason they can justify that Camp Pendleton is in fact the most brilliant but dangerous idea on the planet,
Right.
then it's a great heist, and they have to outline the whole plan, and that is very exciting.
Right.
It still just seems like I can't think what on earth would be in a military base that would be actually worth that risk. Like.
Yeah, because it's not going to be instant cash, or it's not anything really liquid, you know?
Yeah.
That they would be coming out. I mean, it'd be classified documents that I guess you could sell.
Or something, but even then, that
Right,
also would strike me as like not really their style because
Right.
like they seem. I mean, they don't seem like super American, but like selling like America's secrets on the black
Yeah.
market doesn't seem like a smart move.
No.
Seems like a bad move. It could be the sort of thing where they're setting up a situation where we're supposed to think they're going to rob Pendleton, but in fact, actually, they're going to try to like stage a diversion at Pendleton at the same time they do like a robbery somewhere else.
That could be it.
You know, and that's the bait and switch they give us.
Right.
We saw some stuff from next week's episode that they started to kind of tease. But speaking of Pendleton, let's talk a little bit about Paul Belmont.
Yes.
Nikki's
I was
dad.
just going to say, let's circle back around to him.
Yeah. So he comes up, and you're
And he
thinking,
is in the Army, because I know in past episodes that we were talking, we weren't quite sure if he was a cop or in
He's
the
a
Army.
lieutenant commander.
And everyone, right, and the comments was like,
Yep.
he's in the Army, and guys got good eyes, so he is.
Yep.
And he comes over to Smurf's house and is livid because his 16-year-old daughter has been spending the night there.
Yeah, he hates it.
And Smurf just plays it off so smooth.
She's so smooth.
God, she's so smooth.
Yeah, I love Smurf.
Yeah. She's just on point with everything. She just knows how to like grease and butter.
Yeah, know what we gotta do? We need to exchange numbers.
Oh, it's all on me. So I did not know. I just assumed.
Yeah.
I mean, and she totally wins him over.
She's a total sociopath.
Yeah.
Just through and through. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's great. I love
and
it.
Even at the dinner, Baz kind of got in on the action by just like, oh yeah, I was planning on being in the Marines.
I know, and then she's like, the Marines, really? And he's like, you started a game, I was just playing it. And she's like, not impressed. She's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, I guess. You idiot.
Exactly.
Go get Darren back. Wait, you can't. She's just so mean.
She is.
She plays Baz, like she really plays Baz hard.
Big time.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to play Craig very much. You notice that?
Oh, that's true. She doesn't. Maybe because Craig's just kind of there for the
big dumb puppy.
everything. Exactly.
It's a big sweet dumb puppy.
He's constantly high, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Craig.
He's just a body to, do stuff.
We should try to get Robson in here. I bet we could get him in here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Who do you think is the most attractive brother?
Oh, wow.
Just through and through.
Oh,
just
that's
purely
way
physical.
too hard.
Really? You don't know who the most handsome brother
because
is?
they're all just, they're all handsome.
Right. They've each got
In
their own flavor.
in their own different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even.
From a straight up handsome standpoint, I think I go Jay.
Jay is handsome. But
think-
they're all handsome.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Robson may be my favorite, and it's close, but I think I go Jay. Jay has the handsome in the way that like Heath Ledger was handsome,
Right.
kind of thing going on, which is like more. It seems to be more like timelessly handsome. Like,
That's true.
do you know what I mean?
See, I think Baz is like the more clean cut handsome.
Baz is like traditional TV handsome.
Exactly. And then Craig is like the rough and rugged.
Right. Yep.
And then Darren's like the pretty boy.
Yeah.
And Pope's like the just got out of jail.
Yeah. He's handsome in his own
He's
way.
handsome in his own way, for sure.
I think we could maybe get Haddisy on here too.
Yeah?
Pope. I think so. I was trying to wrangle a one-on-one with him, so maybe we could get him in here at the same time.
Absolutely.
But you guys are a very talented actor.
Like, let's just get them all in here.
Yeah, we could bring the whole brothers, the whole squad in here.
Exactly. Squad goals. Hashtag.
I think though that most established of the brothers was Baz, right, beforehand, because of Felicity.
I think so.
Because this is like a very famous show, and he was like a lead on it for a long, long time. I know like Haddisy had done a whole bunch of stuff. Finn Cole's brand new. Darren, whose actor name is escaping me, I think is newer, and then who's the fourth brother? Oh, and then Ben Robson, Craig.
Right.
Yeah, Vikings. So, but yeah, I think it was definitely Baz was like the one that had
Yeah.
the. See, and I guess Baz is kind of like the lead in some way, the male lead,
In some way.
right?
I'd say it's between him and,
Him and Jay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jay's story, but Baz has to be the like older, the really charming, good-looking
Right.
older brother. That's why when I was talking, like I said this last week on the show, when I was talking to Haddisy about it, I was like, it's like Scott Speedman gets to play that like really good-looking American square-jawed traditional TV leading man. Like that he gets some complex scenes, but like ultimately that's what the script calls for. It's a
Right.
specific kind of guy that gets that role. And for a network to give you that role, you have to really have established yourself as like, yeah, I can scene after
Right.
scene after scene, I can kind of like command that like screen presence. I have like that sexual presence. Like you have to sell if you're a network guy.
Right.
Haddisy, like that, you get to be something else. You get to be like a little bit more brooding. You know what I mean? They're not counting on you to be that like leading man type of guy. So I think they're just different roles. But anyway.
But all
handsome.
lovely. Yes.
Jeremy Miller with another great comment. Pope would murder you while fucking you.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think so.
Yeah. Seems strong.
See, good comment. Good comment. Anything else about Nikki's dad and that whole scenario?
Oh, no. I mean, I guess like I stick to it that like I think he's gonna be. I don't think Jake. I think my prediction before was Jay was gonna have to kill him. I don't think Jay's gonna
Right.
kill him.
No.
But I think that like there's a good chance that Nikki's dad gets like either tied up or killed.
Okay.
Like it just seems like it to me. They're not really selling him as a particularly likable guy. They're making him seem kind of like he's just this by the book kind of a jerk father who, you know.
Right.
He's concerned, but he chased his wife away. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
I think eventually he's going to kind of catch on.
You think so?
Because something's going on.
Yeah.
I think. Because I don't think you can have the wool pulled over your eyes for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of catching on, we got this great reveal at the end after we had like the sweet date between Jay and the teacher. Yeah. We all wanted to see that happen.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Are we going into the teacher, Jay and teacher?
Yeah. So did you think going into the episode that she was undercover?
No, and I didn't think that, but then as the episode rolled on, and we talked about this while we were watching, I got the feeling, because when she invited him back to her place and was asking a million questions, it just like clicked in my mind, you know, she probably wasn't paying him this type of attention until he moved in with Smurf and all of that.
Right.
And now she's wanting to get to know him more. It just kind of seemed suspect. So then I was like, she's probably undercover, an informant.
The cop was like, this only works if you wear a wire. Did she say you're going to have to wear a wire, or this only works if you wear a wire? So was she wearing a wire? Is that what they were suggesting? Or she was saying you're going to have to in the future?
I think she was wearing a wire because the cop said, or the detective said, that clearly you like Jay, so this is gonna work.
Yeah.
Do
you think she has an actual attraction to Jay? Do you think she's into him? No.
I don't think so, because just the look on her face from after he came and made out with her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. You're making out with a minor, and you're a teacher. You could lose your job.
Big
that
time.
Could be like a huge national news story.
She like also smoked a joint on campus.
Exactly.
With a student.
Exactly. That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
So maybe she does have a little bit of feelings for him, but from tonight's episode, I'm kind of thinking she's being...
She extended the hand. The hand, but that's like an endearing hand extension, right? It could just be like the handhold.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, like a sex handhold.
I think it was a sex. I think there is a part of her that does like that, but she knows she's not supposed to.
But she knows it's wrong.
Right, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yes, she was wearing a wire. So I think that was a line at the end there,
Yeah. So
the live chat's going wild tonight.
This
is great. I love it. We have a whole conversation happening. It's great.
Awesome. So did you think that she was an informant?
I didn't until the same moment you did, when she says, the one line is, so you live with your 4 uncles. And then it was like, yeah, for sure. That's like obviously what's going on here.
Yeah. Because no teacher is just gonna...
Yeah, like how would you know that?
How would you know that?
Yeah, exactly.
You've been prying. You know some information that you probably shouldn't as a teacher.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the art show, because that kind of ties back into Smurf and what Smurf's got going on. There was a picture at the art show. We're still trying to figure out exactly who
it was. So this was the guy that she said, he owned, he had an airplane hangar, or he lived in an airplane hangar, and it was filled with classic cars. When he called me a few years ago, he changed his name. He was acting super paranoid. So Lila ends up having a moment with Smurf, as Smurf is trying to figure out who this guy is.
Right.
You suggested while we were watching, you thought maybe it was Pope.
At first, when I was looking at the picture, it kind of looked like Pope, but then when they showed that flashback, obviously I don't think it was Pope.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Pope and Julia's dad, possibly.
Got it.
I think. Maybe.
Okay, did you got that sense? You didn't get the other sense, which was that like Smurf had been abused as a child? That wasn't the flashback sense you got? Because that was the other thing I got.
Interesting.
Now that would be very random, super random.
Right.
But abuse comes from abuse.
That's
so
true.
the entire like Oedipus complex, whole just like screwed up nature of their family could totally come from the fact that Smurf was molested as a child.
That's true.
And I thought that guy did like...
But then that would be her father, so how old would her father be now?
That guy that was standing by the pool?
Exactly. If she's like playing in her 60s.
I think she's playing... I don't think she's playing in her 60s.
50s?
I think she's playing in her 50s.
Okay.
Because I think they're dressing her up to look pretty...
Well, she's a hip grandma.
Yeah, well, okay. So the oldest brother is Pope. And Pope looks to be like 30s, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think Pope looks to be like 34 kind of thing?
Right, yeah.
Ish. And you don't get the sense that Smurf with like a rough childhood or however she grew up, she probably didn't have a child at 30. She probably had a child younger.
Right.
She probably had a child at like 22 or 21. So
It could be.
Maybe I would
Right.
I would assume she's supposed to be playing like early to mid 50s, which would mean that if we're in 2016 and she looks like she's like maybe 6, 7 years old, 8 years old maybe, and that looked like it was like the 70s, supposed to be like the 60s or 70s probably. So it could have just totally been her. Like, I mean, she comes to the pool, she's looking at this guy, and he says, "Hey, kiddo," right? He's holding a beer. I don't know. I didn't get the sense from that guy that it was like her loving dad.
Oh, her, like, as in Smurf's loving dad.
Yeah. You did.
No. I got the impression that it was Julianne Pope's dad. So her old love interest, or.
Yeah, but that looked like it. I mean, that would have been like the 80s or 90s, right? 80s probably.
Could it? Well,
It wouldn't have been the 90s. It would have been like the
that's
80s.
True, the 80s.
Oh, Pope's dad.
Yeah, Pope's dad.
Okay, so that's, yeah. And that's like 50 years
We're great
ago.
at math on here.
70s? I don't know. I'm jumping all around. Okay. I think it's their dad too, says Kasi Agama.
So they're agreeing with me?
Yeah.
Possibly? Yeah.
That guy in the picture, it was that Darren's dad. I thought it was Darren, but now I agree with Ben. Pope is 32. He had his birthday last week. He said, "I can't believe I'm 32."
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. Okay.
Not her father, probably a family friend, says Andre Gennaro. I think the kid was Smurf, says Andre Gennaro. That's what I think too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Smurf would have had kids at 18 or something. 18 agreed. So the chat's kind of, it's supposed to obviously be.
Right.
It's supposed to obviously be very ambiguous.
Yeah.
I think it's Smurf, and I think she was abused as a child.
Okay.
That's what I think that flashback was. But from a storytelling standpoint, it would make way more sense for her to be looking at a picture of a guy that she thinks is who that guy is.
Because it clearly affected her. I mean, we see that scene where she's laying, on the diving board over the pool and just kind of reminiscing. You can tell that it's affected her somehow.
Yeah. And Lila seemed like she'd be a little younger. Lila seemed like she was maybe in her late 40s, early 50s, something like that, kind of right around there. Around the same age as Smurf. She had a thing with the guy.
I love how Smurf just does what she has to do to get the information.
Oh my God, yeah.
She don't care.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Very, very interesting. And we find out that, here's just another side note, Smurf owns an apartment building.
She had made reference to it a couple times in the earlier episodes.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
To a few buildings. Because she
Okay.
references them by where they are, the building on this street.
That's right.
So I think that's the front. If I
think so too.
If I had to guess, I think that they probably had money that came from the family or something like that, and they've laundered it and they've put it into buildings.
Right.
And she sends Jay to go collect this rent money. You could totally tell that guy wasn't for real, right?
No, oh yeah, for sure. I was like, of course he's, gonna try to be all tough and whatever, because I still feel like Jay's going through the ropes. Like, she's constantly trying to test him to see how really tough he is.
Yeah.
See how much his balls have grown.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And his balls have grown this episode. I mean, he goes up to the teacher, starts making out with her.
Yeah, Jay's like calling, he's like calling some shots right now.
And that look he gives when he's walking away, like, yeah. See you tomorrow.
I like what he said. What did he say? I'll see you in the classroom?
Yeah.
He said, I'll see you in the classroom, I'll see you at school.
Yeah.
I think he said, I'll see you in the classroom.
At school.
Yeah. See you at school, teach. Yeah. He's like, I got this.
Yeah.
But he's also so like oblivious because he's just a kid. So he doesn't know
Right.
that like what is going on is that he could be getting totally tricked, which is what's happening.
Totally played.
Yeah.
Totally played.
Yeah.
What else? I think. Let's talk about Craig. Craig didn't have a lot going on this episode, but he did have a storyline for sure. We get to see Ren, and she knows, supposedly, who broke into her apartment.
She got robbed by a guy named Sage.
Yeah.
By Sage. I feel so bad for her. Every time she talks to Craig, that whole thing just makes me so sad. She's just totally getting.
It's like, girl, you know.
I trust you, she says. Oh, Craig.
How can you trust a crackhead?
Yeah. But Craig's such a teddy bear, so you don't want to hate him.
He's
but you
so
kinda,
good looking.
You have to kind of hate him a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see more of Craig. That's what this is all saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love Craig and the drug girl relationship. He seems like a big dumb dog, and you can train Craig. Yeah.
That is so true. I mean, I feel bad for her. It's like, oh, girl, you do not have a winner. Do not have a winner. But he actually goes and he finds this sage guy with Ren. And I love when he walks in there and he's like, okay, so I kind of have to mess you up a little.
Yeah.
Like he's giving him the play-by-play of what's going to go down.
Give you a black eye.
Yeah, and then you're going to go running
little.
down the street.
Yeah. And then he's like, he hits him with a box cutter.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that just sends him off the rails.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, though, like even though he cuts him with a box cutter, he still doesn't make it so he can never walk again.
Right.
He just beats him up.
Right.
He hurts him, but like to make him never walk again, really, he would have really had to like.
Right.
Would have been bad news.
I don't think we've really seen Craig go off on somebody like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, David Baldwin with the ship name Kren. I love it.
Oh, yes.
I ship Kren.
Kren.
I'm so in. I ship Kren.
Hashtag Kren. Love it. That's going to be their relationship name.
Yeah, Kren.
Kren.
So now, because we've had half of Kren in here, we have to get the other half of Kren.
Absolutely,
College
we do.
shot. We need Robson in here.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah.
That is going to be our number one mission from here on out.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
I think. Can you think of anything else that did we miss?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I think like. She gives him some stuff, and she's like, "I trust you."
Yeah, so now he knows where the stash is.
Yeah, or more of the stash.
More of the stash,
just
right.
stashes all over the place. You wonder, like, what happens if she finds out that it's him?
I have a feeling that's going to go down.
Seems like it, right? Seems like it.
It's just inevitable.
Right.
It's inevitable. It's going to go down. And
You wish he would just tell her, but I don't think he can.
I think
at this
he's
point.
too far in at this point that...
Yeah.
Because if somebody was laying over me and I was dying and they stole from me and took whatever stash, that's pretty bad. Like, you left me for dead.
Oh, wait. Somebody just said here, Julius Easterling said she's setting him up. She knows who robbed her. Oh. Because they were totally trying to set you up there for a second. Like, she did know. Mm-hmm. I didn't really think she knew.
No.
I didn't get the sense. Like, I knew they were going to do the bait and switch move there, but she could totally know.
She could. It didn't feel to me that she did. Because I feel like if she did, she would have, like, come out wailing on him somehow.
Yeah, because they've known each other since they were, like, 12.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be more of a stab to the heart. Like, she would definitely have flown off the rails, I feel.
Do you think they love each other? Or do you think they're just,
In
like...
a weird way.
Yeah.
I think so. Or something.
They're, like, meant for each other in some kind of weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of, drugged up way. But it could happen. We'll see.
Ooh, I ship Daedrian. Pope does too. I'm sure of it. Love it. Love it.
I love it. I love the live chat.
Daedrian.
Yep.
Best.
Should we move into predictions?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, let's do this.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I also shipped Adrian for the record. Multiple ships.
Yep.
Multiple ships. In fact, I think I shipped Adrian the most, now that I think about it.
Yeah?
I think I shipped Adrian even more than Kren.
Wow.
I mean, Kren is great, except that it's,
Right.
like, totally broken, and, like, that working out is, like, just wrong.
Right.
In so many ways. He, like, robbed her and left her for dead. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, Daedrian, it happened in Belize. It was all so long ago.
But he did, like...
Beat him up in a public restroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
That's pretty harsh.
It's pretty
But
mean.
I do want to see more of that. I don't know, it's so funny because he just has this weird way of showing how he cares.
Darren? Yeah, his
Darren.
affection? Yeah. I love it.
Like, he needs to talk through some issues, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
love how he shows his affection. Because he's like, you're going to fag it up at Pottery Barn and get matching dishes and shit? Yeah. And he's like, I can't believe you would hate yourself so much you could say something like that.
Exactly.
You break into a dude's house and have sex with him. He's like, just you. I just break into your house.
Just yours.
I just break into your house and have sex with you.
You should feel really good about that.
Yeah, you should
Like,
feel. Yeah, I
Thanks.
really like you, Adrian. I'll fix your window.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, so romantic.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny. I love it.
All right, predictions, you go.
Okay, what am I predicting? I'm predicting that. I mean, I threw it out earlier with the stuff with Nikki's dad. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to get himself into some big trouble here. I really think that's a thing that we can expect to have happen. I also think. No, I don't really have. I think I have a prediction that the thing with Dave, with Adrian's boy, will come back to bite Pope a little bit. I don't think it's going to go away. You know?
Yeah, I have a feeling that Adrian is somehow going to blow the lid, because it seems like he knows what type of operation is going on. Clearly he knows Smurf and that whole scenario.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like he's at that breaking point, or the tipping point, where he could say something to someone.
Definitely.
Also, I think with Nikki's dad, like I said earlier, I think somehow the wool's going to be taken off over his head. And I think it has to do with the watch that Nikki has.
The watch will be a big thing.
Yeah.
I also predict that the teacher is going to have to like go further with Jay than she'd like to. I think she's gonna be in a situation.
I think she's gonna go all the way.
Because she owes something clearly to the cops. She's being leaned on. Like she got caught for something, selling drugs or, something like that. So I think that there's a decent chance that she will unhappily have sex with Jay. So let's see who in the chat has a prediction. I just saw one that I was gonna share. Okay, Andre Gennaro says, I already said this, but my prediction is that Baz will sell out his whole family.
Ooh. Wow.
That's an intense one.
That is.
Baz sells out the whole family.
Wow.
And he does seem like kind of a turncoat. I don't really trust Baz.
I don't either. And I think it's ever since the, first or second episode where he
meets the detective?
Saw that detective. I always have that in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Like, he could be some sort of informant or undercover cop or something. I don't know how that would have happened, because it seems like he's been with the family for a long time and known them for a long time. But
since he was a little kid, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But I just have this feeling about him.
Also, the teacher definitely dies, and Craig will be caught stealing the rest of the drugs. Another prediction. So, yeah. So we have some thoughts.
Oh, Craig's definitely stealing more drugs.
Yeah. The best.
That is like 1,000%. Absolutely. All right. I think that wraps up this week.
Yeah.
Mr. Ben Bateman, where can the people find you?
Folks, if you want to find me or tweet at me or leave me comments, you can find me at Ben Bateman Media on Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. And you guys can find me at Alina Vision. That's Vision with 2 S's on all of social media. And please feel free to leave comments below in the underneath the description box on the YouTube page, and like us and rate us over on iTunes. We love to continue this conversation. Feel free to tweet at us. And yeah, that's it. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.